they have the iPad, they got a MacBook, like figure out how to like make them do something together. Like or like just create a whole new device that has um I mean, I don't know. They could do something with this, right? I think it would be dope. Do you use Disco to hold some of your music? And if so, how's that worked for placements? You know what? I keep saying I need to do that on like the like music supervisor facing Discovery Suite thing. I don't have anything. Um, I haven't done that yet, but I have to do that. I have to play around with that and set it up. But no, I haven't. I haven't set that up yet. I have the artist plan, unlimited file storage. A program like Keka can split up a large file into 8 GB chunks. I cannot confirm or deny. That's how I now have an iBrass Essentials. Okay, I didn't know it was the same as drag and dropping the WAV file. Yep, gotta love it. And that part, like the moment you want to or need to, that's what pushed me kind of off of my Hackintosh was like reaching a point to where you like kind of have to upgrade either software stuff or you got some hardware that's not talking with the software because your hardware is way newer than the software, and then you got to upgrade, and then that's when and then I think I built my Hackintosh right before Apple went back to Apple Silicon and came out with the M1 chip. So they were like still on Intel. So I was able to get it up. It was frustrating for a little bit, but I was able to get it up and running smoothly. Um, but then yeah, once it was time to upgrade, had to say bye bye to the Hackintosh. Things I want to submit for sync exclusive should not go on Bandcamp, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Right? Um, I wouldn't. I would like submit it first and then see, because some companies will distribute to Spotify and YouTube through the albums they release. So I'll always wait. If it's something I'm pitching directly for sync, I'll wait before releasing it on those platforms. And then once we're talking about signing something, that's when I'll ask them, is it okay to release this stuff on these platforms, or do you do it, or how does that work? And then they'll walk you through that, and then you'll know exactly how to proceed. That's a common question, though. I get it. Apple will make its software break on non-Apple hardware. Doesn't it seem strange? I've been having the most issues since what are they, M4? About 3 generations out. Stuff start getting weird, man. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's factual or not, but it seemed like it. Been having no issues. Then everything stops working. Like I start having issues with my AirDrop. I'm about to upgrade the software on here though. I don't know how that's gonna go. I should probably finish up this album first before I do that. But yeah, like my copy and paste continuity stuff, just it's been flaky. Like I would have to like restart the whole computer for it to just do basic stuff like AirDrop. What else? What other weird stuff would it do? My calculator, the other day I was using the calculator. Every time I hit equal, it just shuts down for whatever reason. Don't know why. Never had an issue with the calculator before. Can't imagine that taking up a ton of CPU power. Um, Man, honestly, you can't go wrong with like any of the plans. Like I started with the cheapest plan, what like the $10 joint, and it worked fine. The only reason I upgraded was I was uh I was accepting submissions from people, and I needed that inbox feature because I think the first tier when I signed up didn't have that um, to where you can create a separate inbox. So I needed that. That was the only reason. That was the only reason I upgraded. Honestly, I might downgrade because I haven't even used that in a while. But no, I have. I used it like the beginning of this year. So honestly, not enough. But yeah, you can't go wrong on many of those. Demo says no submission for me tonight. I'm here to listen to all the beautiful Christmas music. Been at work all day. Indeed, I'm sure we're gonna get some good Christmas songs. Should be dope. The artist plan is great. Has enough features that you don't need pro. That's my opinion. Yep, I agree. Shout out to Disco. Any other questions? Drop them in the chat. For the new people, shout out to you for joining Sync Producer Live. So yeah, man, I've been using Mac since 2005. That's when I got my first iBook, iBook G4, or was it G5? I can't remember. Yeah, got the iBook, had GarageBand. Back in the day, GarageBand came with iLife. So iLife was like, if you know, you know, it was like Apple's little suite of softwares, programs. Um, so I had iLife and the iBook, and then yeah, went from GarageBand, and then I went from GarageBand to Pro Tools. Because then I ended up getting a MacBook Pro. I got Pro Tools, so then it was like GarageBand and Pro Tools, and then I got hip to Logic. Used Reason around. I started using Reason around the same time I used Logic. Really fell in love with Logic, and then yeah, Logic's been like the main DAW since. Speaking of Christmas covers, when we produce a cover of a Christmas song, do we need to put the original writer's name in the metadata? However, if it's not if it's public domain, no. If it's not public domain, I believe you would put the original writers in the metadata. But I don't, you know what? I would ask the publisher how they want to handle that, honestly. Because I'm trying to think if I've ever done like a true cover. And I mean, I've done covers, but the label, yeah, the original writers would be listed. Um, I would get credit for producing the master, but the writers would still get, the writers publishing. And then when it's registered with the PRO, it was registered, just registered with the writers. Like we don't get any of that. Um, Are songs with vocals better suited for? It goes both ways in terms of songs with vocals. Um, I think like it's always great to have a song. I don't think one is necessarily better than the other because both are needed, you know? So if you have a full song, I guess it kind of has an edge because it also has an instrumental. So if you have lyrics with a great syncable theme, you know, you may have a better chance of it getting sync if the need is for a full song. If they need an instrumental, doesn't matter how great the song is. They're just like, we don't need vocals. We just need an instrumental. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that kind of situation. Like it could be better depending on the situation. But in terms of is it better for exclusive or non-exclusive? I think I it depends on what you're okay doing with that song. Like some songs, I'm like, I'm cool if y'all the only publisher that represents it, especially if I know like y'all gonna put it to work. And then I'm cool with some songs just being non-exclusive, and then I can just kind of pitch to whoever I want, whatever sync agent or supervisor I want, and try and get that places as much as possible. So it's up to you at the end of the day. Both work though. What plan are you on, Suno, to have them sing out your ideas? I think it's like the middle one. I was playing around with. Let me see. The pro plan. Did I say the middle one? It looks like it's only two. But yeah, it was a pro plan. Oh no, yeah, it is three: free, pro, and then premiere. How do you vet potential collaborators, and how do you finesse rejecting their efforts if the collab is not working out? A musician or singer may not have the right feel or tone for the project. So if I can, I like to, before I agree to work on a project, I like to hear their work, like multiple examples of it. And then that usually tell me if I like what they put out. And then if it doesn't work, I don't really try and finesse it. I just tell them straight, like, hey, we got to go in a different direction, because this just isn't, it's not giving the vibe that we need for this joint. So we're gonna try a different writer. I've had to do that even working with artists, where maybe they didn't like the song, so we had to, let's try out a couple different other writers, and then she resonated with a different writer, so then we just kind of switched up and then did a few songs with that writer. So it's no hard feelings. It's just, it boils down to, it's not, we're just trying to get the client what the client wants, you know what I mean? And if that isn't given with that collaborator, just let them know, like, hey, this isn't it's not quite what they're looking for, so we're gonna just go in a different direction. Appreciate you taking the time to at least work on it, and then that's it. And usually they're pretty cool about it. But yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, I try and just listening.